The episode begins with a brutal battle is taking place between Choso and Naoya Zenin. Naoya's overwhelming speed completely dominates the fight. His movements are so fast that Choso can barely perceive them, let alone counter them. Blow after blow lands on Choso's body, leaving him badly injured and bleeding heavily. Despite being pushed to the brink, Choso refuses to fall. As the eldest of 10 brothers, he forces himself back onto his feet. Determined to keep fighting, he activates Flowing Red Scale, a technique that enhances his physical abilities and sharpens his perception. By concentrating the blood around his eyes, Choso improves his ability to track Naoya's lightning-fast movements. Naoya watches him with curiosity, intrigued by Choso's stubborn resilience. However, he remains confident in his superiority. When Choso begins to keep up with his speed, Naoya suddenly pulls out a hidden knife and stabs him in the stomach. He mocks Choso, saying that for someone who manipulates blood, stopping the bleeding should be easy. But the real question, he says, is how long Choso can keep fighting with such a serious wound. Naoya also complains about sorcerers who rely on weapons, openly expressing his disdain for his own brothers. According to him, older brothers who are weaker than their younger siblings deserve to die. Choso calmly disagrees. He explains that an older brother is always a role model for the younger ones. Even if he makes mistakes, he must stay ahead of them so they can learn from him and avoid walking the same path. I have no one to guide me, Choso says, so I must become the guide for my brothers. At that moment, an enormous wave of blood begins flowing from Choso's body, spreading across the ground like an ocean tide. Naoya jumps back to avoid it. The narrator explains that the cursed womb, death paintings are hybrids of cursed spirits and humans. Because of their unique physiology, they can convert cursed energy directly into blood. As long as Choso has cursed energy remaining, he cannot die from blood loss. Naoya attempts to escape, but something feels wrong. Blood has splashed onto his clothes and shoes, and suddenly his legs feel incredibly heavy. Realizing too late that Choso has been manipulating the blood attached to him, Naoya tries to counterattack using his projection sorcery, which allows him to pre-simulate 24 frames of movement and move at incredible speed. But Choso has already prepared something far more dangerous. Calmly extending his hand, he activates a technique he developed through 150 years of training, Supernova. Drops of blood floating in the air suddenly explode from all directions. The attack surrounds Naoya completely, leaving him no way to dodge. Choso slowly approaches, ready to finish him. But before he can strike the final blow, Yuta Okatsu suddenly appears. In an instant, Yuta attacks and knocks Choso unconscious with a single strike. Meanwhile, Naoya begins vomiting violently. Because Choso is not fully human, his blood acts as a powerful poison to ordinary sorcerers. Naoya realizes that if nothing is done, the toxin will soon kill him. Seeing this, Yuta offers him a deal. He says he will heal Naoya using reverse curse technique, but in exchange Naoya must report to the higher-ups that Yuji Itadori has been successfully executed. As Yuji drifts between life and death, he experiences a strange memory from his childhood. He sees his father, Jin Itadori, and his grandfather Weisuk arguing. Weisuk warns Jin to stay away from a certain woman or he will be killed. The conversation is suddenly interrupted when a woman enters the room. She is introduced as Kaori, Yuji's mother, and she has the same stitched scar across her forehead that Kenjaku possesses. The vision ends. Yuji suddenly wakes up to find Yuta sitting beside him. Yuta sighs with relief and explains the truth. Back in September, Gojo Satoru personally asked him to look after Yuji and the other students in case anything happened. To fool the higher-ups, Yuta had to make a binding vow that required him to actually kill Yuji. The moment Yuji's heart stopped, Yuta immediately revived him using reverse curse technique. This allowed the vow to be fulfilled while secretly keeping Yuji alive. For now, the higher-ups believe Yuji is dead. Yuji asks why Yuta went so far to help him. Yuta simply replies that the people important to him care about Yuji too. At that moment, Megumi Fushiguro arrives and tells Yuji they are returning to Jujutsu High. Because the school's barrier is currently weakened, they can secretly bring him back inside. But Yuji refuses. Still haunted by the destruction caused during the Shibuya incident, he believes that countless deaths happened because of him. Megumi responds bluntly. They are not heroes. They are jujutsu sorcerers. No one will ever fully understand them, and they do not have the luxury of dwelling on guilt. The only thing they can do is continue saving people. Megumi then reveals a new crisis. Kenjaku has started a deadly ritual known as the culling game, forcing sorcerers and awakened humans into a massive battle royale where players must kill each other to earn points. Megumi's sister Tsumiki has been unwillingly drawn into the game. He desperately asks Yuji for help. The rules of the culling game are then explained. Players must enter a colony within 19 days. Killing a sorcerer grants 5 points, while killing a non-sorcerer grants 1 point. With 100 points, players can propose a new rule to the game master. However, if a player's points do not change within 19 days, their curse technique will be removed, effectively killing them. Yuji then confesses something to Yuta. After the events in Shibuya, Sukuna now possesses 15 of his fingers inside Yuji's body. If Sukuna ever takes control again, Yuji begs Yuta to kill him immediately. For now, the group decides their first objective is to return to Jujutsu High and meet Master Tengen. Only Tengen can explain Kenjaku's true plan and possibly reveal how to free Gojo from the prison realm. However, reaching Tengen will not be easy. His barrier contains thousands of shifting doors, and only one leads to the tombs of the Star Corridor where he resides. Before leaving, Yuji asks Megumi about Nobara Kujisaki. Megumi lowers his head silently. From that single gesture, Yuji understands the devastating truth. Suddenly, Choso appears and offers help. Since Mahito once stole Sukuna's fingers from Jujutsu High, they can use a similar method to locate the hidden path through the barrier. The group then returns to Jujutsu High, where they meet Maki Zenin, whose body is covered in severe burn scars after the Shibuya incident. Thanks to her heavenly restriction, she survived, though the marks remain. Choso explains that near the Star Corridor lies a hidden vault containing cursed tools and objects. The preserved remains of his 6 younger brothers are stored there, and through his blood manipulation technique he can sense their location. When the others ask who Choso is, Yuji casually says, "For now, just think of him as my older brother." Hearing this makes Choso incredibly happy. Guided by Choso's senses, the group eventually finds the correct door and descends toward the Star Corridor. Along the way they pass a spot stained with old blood. Yuki Tsukumo explains that 12 years earlier, a tragic incident occurred here, the assassination of the Star Plasma Vessel. That event may have been the moment when everything in the Jujutsu world began to spiral out of control. Finally they enter the main hall. It is an enormous white space, completely empty. For a moment, it seems as though Tengen has rejected them. Just as they turn to leave, a voice suddenly calls out. Master Tengen appears before them, calmly greeting the group. "Welcome," he says, addressing them one by one. And with that chilling introduction, the episode comes to an end.